it's one of those things where you should try to maximize what you have at any given moment, right? So to me, it's one of those things where we don't know how long all of this is going to last. So why not make the most out of it while you can? Maybe you have to work a little harder for the next couple of years, but so what? Like you might set yourself up for better.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of The Report. Today, I got someone who's in the family right now, married to my niece. Now they have a daughter together and is a professional pickleball player, is doing all things pickleball. I got DJ Young. What's up, DJ?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, dude, appreciate you coming on, man, for a second time now. And congrats on the newborn, Layton, baby Layton.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. How old is Layton now?
She's gonna be 16 months pretty soon. And then
Damn.
we have another one cooking in the oven. So we're gonna have number
Ooh.
2 in September.
Congratulations, man. That's exciting. We got to get baby Layton out on the new boat, man.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we
Yes.
do.
You said she was doing some swim lessons too.
She's doing some swimming lessons yesterday for the first time, and then today she went to the pickleball court. So she's training just from year and a half training for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely, dude. That's awesome, man. So regarding the pickleball game, what is going on today with the pickleball game in terms of what you're currently doing? Just give us a snapshot for the listeners that didn't listen to the first one, what you currently do in pickleball.
Yeah, for sure. Me personally, I play professional pickleball for the UPA, which is the PPA and MLP tour. So PPA is more individually oriented, and MLP is team oriented. I am now ranked 32 in the world, I believe, for men's doubles. I play all three events, which is men's doubles, mixed doubles, and singles. And then as far as MLP goes, Major League Pickleball, I play for the Bay Area Breakers, which are located in the Bay Area, and the home club is in Alameda, I believe. And yeah, so as of right now, I play professionally full time. I also run my own podcast called Conversations with DJ, season 2 coming out soon.
Which I was a guest on.
Yeah, which you were a
Yeah.
guest on in the season
You're a
1.
good host, bro.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. You as well. And then I also recently started my own paddle company called American Pickleball League. You know, it's owned in Chicago. We have all the warehouse out there. And then, yeah, we just make custom paddles and professional paddles as well. So I'm doing a bunch of different stuff.
Dude, I love it, man. What is the difference between MLP and PPA?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest thing is that PPA, you basically play for yourself a lot of the times, and you get to choose your own partners and who you want to play with. And it's more kind of like tournament bracket based, where MLP is team based, right? Like your team owner and your coach and everybody kind of chooses the team that they want based on who they want to pay for and who they want in the team. And so you don't really get a lot of say on who you play with or who you play against, and everything's kind of set up in a team environment, kind of like soccer.
Which one is considered bigger money and more of the main stage out of those two?
Well, they kind of go hand in hand. They're like kind of like sister companies, right? So they're really both the same. I think it just kind of depends on your contract. You know, a lot of it. There's not really a lot of prize money for the contracted players out there to pick from, but I would say PPA is probably slightly bigger, and people prefer PPA a little bit more than MLP.
And so these contracts, is it typically long term or is it typically like just year by year? Because I know you guys have a small team, right? Like what does a typical team comprise of?
Yeah.
How many players?
So as far as the contract goes, it largely depends on the person, right? So for me personally, I signed a 2-year contract back in 2021 or 2022. Then in 2024, I signed a 3-year contract all the way until the end of 2026. So I had a 3 year. Some people had a 1 year. You know, some people I know, like my recent teammate had a 1 event contract. So it was like what, 5 days, right? So it just really depends on who you are and kind of what you can work out with the league. And then as far as the team goes, it's usually 4 people in Challenger, 6 people in Premier, divided equally. So 3 girls, three guys, or 2 girls and 2 guys. And then usually there's a GM, there's an owner, and there's a coach in the team.
Does the coach do a whole lot?
I would say within the team, yes. Like they usually kind of help figure out strategies to play against other teams. They also try to help out with your own game, right? They're always available to hit with you. They're always available for a chat if you need some, emotional support as well. And so I would say they do. I think probably some more than others, just kind of like in, anything in life. But our coach for the Bay Area Breakers is Scott Crandall, so big shout out to him, and he does a
Okay.
really good job with us.
Okay. And so regarding, you mentioned 3 guys, 3 girls, sometimes 2 guys, 2 girls. How do you guys, like when you guys go do a tournament? I know you're traveling on the road all the time, every weekend. And so when you go do a tournament, a weekend tournament, how does the flow go? Is it doubles and then you do some singles? Like how does that all break that down?
For PPA or MLP?
Um, the 3-and-3, which one is that?
That's Premier level Major League Pickleball, so
Okay.
MLP.
Yeah.
So for that one, essentially, like the way it is built right now, there's 3 girls, and 3 guys, right? Only 4 of those players play. So only 2 girls and 2 guys play. The other 2 are in the bench.
Is that just in case someone gets hurt?
Yeah, it's kind of like a backup player in case somebody can't make it, in case somebody gets hurt mid-tournament, in case somebody gets sick, right? So, but usually the level discrepancy between the 2 guys and the third guy is pretty big. So you have the 2 main players and you have the backup, right? So for those tournaments in MLP, you usually get in a couple days before the event. So if we play on Thursday, probably get on Tuesday, and then a lot of what you do is play with the team, play with your partners, and then a lot of the time just a scrimmage against other teams. And then as far as the team event goes, then you usually always go to dinner with your GM and owner and your other teammates, right? So it's a lot of getting ready for the tournament and then having some team bonding experience as well, whether it's dinners or putt, or anything like that.
Does everyone qualify to get into the Saturday, Sunday games, or do you have to qualify to get in? Because I know with PGA golf, Thursday, Friday is typically like you gotta make the cut to play on the weekend. Is it similar with the pickleball?
So it is for PPA. It is where they have Saturday semifinals and Sunday finals, right? So if you have a tournament, bracket tournament like that, you start on Monday, Tuesday, and then the further you go, the higher round it is, right? And the more difficult it gets, the more money you can make. But as far as Major League Pickleball goes, right now it's very regular season oriented. So you're gonna play twice a day, every day, and then that goes into your rankings, and then your ranking is based on how your team did that week, right? And so at the end of the season, you might be ranked 2, you might be ranked 12, and then at that point, I think the top 10 make it to the end of the year playoffs. So then the 10 teams at the end of the year play against each other to see who can make it to be the winner.
I know that you prefer playing doubles, but you do some singles as well. How come you prefer doubles over singles?
I think doubles for me personally just feels a lot more like a team, right? It's you and somebody that you decide to play with, kind of going to war against 2 other guys. That to me is like the best example of like the best pickleball, being able to be played. Singles, a lot of it to me feels kind of like jungle ball a little bit, where like if I feel better that day and my forehand feels good, then you might not have a chance. Where in doubles, there's a lot more strategy, a lot more chess that goes into it. So it's kind of like, okay, if my drive is not working, I can drop. If my drop is not working, I can hit a drip, and my partner can make up for what I'm doing wrong, and I can make up for what my partner's doing wrong. So there's a lot of strategy that comes into it, where singles is more just like, oh, let me just serve really hard and hit the ball really hard and see what happens. That's how I see it, at least.
From a cardiovascular standpoint, I can imagine singles is like you get a lot more winded just running back and forth because there's a lot more court to cover,
100%.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And so, and then when you guys do doubles, how do they treat the genders? Like, is it guy and guy some matches, and then guy and girl? How does that work?
Yeah, so for MLP specifically, the women always play first, then the men always play second, and then after that, there's 2 mixed doubles, right?
In one day.
In one day.
So you'll have 4 matches in one day.
Probably 8, because you play 2 different teams every day. So, at the end of the day, I'll be playing.
Wait, hold on, back up a second. So when you play one team,
Yeah,
is it one match or is it best of 3?
it's 1 game to 11,
Okay.
4 games total. I play 2, so men's doubles and mixed doubles. Then my men's doubles partner will play another mixed doubles with the other girl. And then if you go 2 and 2, then
then you force a 5th round.
You force a 5th,
and what's the structure for the 5th?
So the 5th is kind of interesting because it's going to be singles, and the way it works, it's you put up the lineup, and it's 4 points at a time, and it's called a dream breaker. So you play 4 points, next person comes in, plays 4 points, and then by the time it's 3-4 people, then you go back in again.
And so if you guys force a game of what do you call it?
Dream breaker.
In NBA, you call it game 5.
Yeah.
But what do you call it here? It's a dream.
A dream breaker.
A dream breaker. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. And then so like if you guys go deep into the weekend, how many matches are you potentially playing?
Well, I was just in St. Louis and I played 5 different teams, right? So that means 4 matches per team, so that's what, 20 matches? And then I'm a fourth of that, right? So you can only imagine. And then if we split a couple times, then you add the Dream Breaker into it. So a lot of matches.
Yeah,
A
no,
lot.
that is a lot.
I will also say though, like in a team environment, right? Like if I was gonna just play myself with a partner, then it's okay, we go play, and then we're done. And we go play and then we're done. But if I have to watch my woman team play and then cheer for them, right? And that might be like 20, 30 minutes. Like there's also energy being excluded, right? Where like if you're not really resting, you're kind of cheering and being loud for your team, so you have a better chance of winning the whole team match.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. You guys get pretty big crowds at these tournaments?
Yeah, we get pretty big crowds actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just at the I think it was called the Chaffetz Arena in St.
Okay.
Louis, and it got pretty packed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I jumped on I was it was a potential investor, someone that listens to the podcast. Forget the gentleman, but it's like 6 months ago. I think I sent you the photo. Him and his wife were like big pickleball fans, and like they said they just came home from like some amateur tournament or something like that. Mid 40s, and so anyways, they love pickleball. So he was telling me how much they love playing like as a hobby. And so I mentioned you, and oh my gosh, they like we love DJ. My wife got to take a photo with him at one of the tournaments. I
Oh,
sent you
I
the photo,
remember that.
remember?
I do remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So small world there. So talk about like some of these top players right now. You know, we got Ben Johns, Anna Waters, Tyson McGruffin, some of these names right here. Federico Standrick.
Yeah, Federico Staksrud.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so if you think about the best of the best right now, obviously we know pickleball relatively newer sport in terms of like it's been around a while.
Yeah.
But relatively newer sport in terms of like, you know, just getting a lot of momentum. It's very trendy right now. And we know with other sports like MMA that are relatively new, the progress and the speed at which the talent is progressing is like really quick, right? Versus, you know, some of these other sports like baseball, football, it's like they've been around for decades and decades and decades. And so the way at which those major sports are progressing is a lot slower. Now, pickleball, same thing. I can imagine because it's relatively new, a lot more people are playing it, and the level at which the talent is progressing has got to be quick. Is that true?
Very quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you think about these top players right now, Anna, Tyson, Catherine, Federico, James, Jay Dilivers. These names, I don't know these names, but I know of Tyson,
Yeah.
and I know of like Anna. In order to get into that category, into that conversation, what does it take today?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, right? Like there's something to be said about, you know, how much you can work and how much effort you can put in and how much you can train. But the biggest thing with pickleball itself is that what the people like right now the most is doubles, right? So you can be the best player possible, but even if you are insane at men's doubles, let's say, you might still have a hard time finding partners. Maybe because you're new, maybe because you're young, maybe because you're older than whatever, maybe people don't like you, maybe you rub people the wrong way, right? So as far as like how to get there, to me it has to be a really good combination of how likable you are, so people, you know, want to play with you, how good you are, not only at one event, but all 3 events, because all 3 events are valuable, you know, maybe some more than others, but some people might be like, oh, he's really good at singles, so I might give him a chance at mixed doubles. But maybe that means you're not as good at men's doubles. You have to be equal in all of them, right? And then something that really, really matters, in my opinion, is living in an area where other pros play, right? So it's not only word of mouth, it's basically like you are around all these people.
This game is all about being in the right rooms, regardless if it's business, real estate, sports. You got to be around the top players in the game in order to level up. And so talk about that. What are the best areas in the country to live in?
Yeah, exactly. So right now, to me, it would be Florida, Delray Beach, I believe. It's like the biggest one, right? So that's where Jim Signatowicz is, Anna Bry, Hayden Patriquin, Federico, like all these people live there. Then the next one, it's probably Austin, Texas, where I used to live, and that's where I kind of became more popular. And then after that, it's kind of like all the same. Like Utah, it's pretty good. Arizona is pretty good. Cali, it's okay.
If you were to pick one city in California where pro pickleball players are most prevalent, where would that be?
Orange County.
Orange County?
Yeah,
What
Orange
city?
County.
What city in Orange County? OC is kind of big.
Fountain Valley.
Fountain Valley.
Yeah, Fountain
I
Valley.
would have thought you guys would have picked a better city than Fountain Valley, man.
You you would think so too, right? But it's like you know how real estate is here, you know. So it's very difficult to find a place with enough courts that's not charging an insane amount of money to just get in. You know, and Fountain Valley has that, right? And it has very good I don't want to say ownership because I don't think I know the ownership, but the people that are running the pickleball side of it are very nice. And so it's a matter of like, you know, how open are they to letting all the pros come in and all the pros play, right? We're in San Clemente where I live, even though it's beautiful, there's basically no pickleball.
You're the top G in San
I'm the
Clemente.
top G in San
Yeah,
Clemente.
yeah. That's how you know you're in the wrong room. I'm like, I never want to be the smartest person in the room. Okay, so regarding like the branding, because obviously, you know, if you look at a lot of the highest income earning athletes in the world, they're the best at getting attention. They're the best at having the personal brand. They're charismatic. Look at the UFC. Conor McGregor, for example, is without a doubt the highest net worth, highest income earning UFC fighter,
Mhm.
and the dude hasn't fought in over 4 years, right?
Crazy. People still talk about him.
People still talk about him. He's still relevant. And when people think UFC, he's the first name that's mentioned, right? And so why is because he's charismatic. He says whatever he thinks. He's not afraid to take a risk. He's not afraid to get in front of the camera. He's good at getting views. And he's got that likable personality. People, whether you like him or not, people want to watch what he has to say. And so is it the same in pickleball where these folks that have the brands, the Tyson McGruffins, those are the ones that are getting a lot of the sponsorship deals today?
Yeah, for sure. I think to me, Tyson is something very special and unique for pickleball. Not only because he had always been really good at pickleball itself, but he was also the first one to be like, you know, what else is out there outside of just playing pickleball,
Yeah.
right?
What is he doing off of the court?
Well, he basically runs Tyson McGuffin camps, I believe, and those make pretty good money. He also has a podcast of his own. I believe he got some form, and you know this. I don't know this for sure, but he either got royalties on his paddle deal with Yola or some form of equity or whatever it is. So he's doing a lot of stuff off the court that a lot of people are not doing. And then again, he was kind of like the first one to just kind of like, oh, let me run some clinics, let me run some camps. Signature paddle, Tyson McGuffin, right? And then everyone just kind of followed. But I would say outside of him,
Anna?
well, Anna Lee, it's also very special because she
Goes by
is
Anna Lee or Anna Waiters?
Anna Lee Waters.
Waters.
Yeah, because in her case, she is so good and like basically she's the goat of like women's pickleball. And so when you're winning that much, I feel like everything just kind of comes to you, right? Everyone wants like a piece of you, right? Where to me, Tyson, it was more of a like, I'm really good, but let me see what I can do. Where like everyone just goes to Anna Lee offering her a bunch of stuff. So I don't think Anna Lee does as good off the court in the sense of like marketing and stuff like that because there's people already doing it for her. Where Tyson had to like figure it out on his own.
Hey guys, this podcast has officially become a top 1% business and real estate podcast. And as a special thank you to you guys, the listeners, I'm going to be doing a giveaway between now and July 31st, giving away $1,000 cash prizes, custom built swag compliments of built, and yacht tickets to come out to our yacht meetups this summer out here in San Diego. To enter to win, simply drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, screenshot the review, and email it to giveaway@summerscapital.com, and we'll be selecting lucky winners July 31st. Again, thank you so much for the support. I would not be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's jump back into the show. Who's the biggest name if you had to pick one? Like who is the Conor McGregor of pickleball today?
As far as like popularity
As
goes,
far as like this person's got the most attention, the biggest brand, the biggest audience.
I would probably say Anna Lee Waters.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So this sport really hasn't like really. I mean, because I'm looking at their Instagrams. Tyson's got 110K followers on Instagram. Anna's got 120.
Yeah.
So there's no one that's really like built a massive platform yet.
Yeah, not a massive one, not like millions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's because like the people that most of the people that play and or watch pickleball, like the average, they're not that young, right? So they probably don't know much about Instagram or Facebook or podcasting, all that kind of stuff. They're probably just
They're hanging out on Facebook.
either hanging out on Facebook or they're just like watching TV at night and just go to bed. You know what
Mm,
I mean?
mm.
I don't think the big boom has happened
But
because
can you say the same thing for tennis? Because tennis, I mean, you got some major superstars in tennis,
I don't think
massive
so.
names.
I don't think so because when you think of like junior tennis is huge,
Okay.
college tennis massive,
Mm.
right?
Do they have college pickleball?
They do, but it's not big.
Yeah.
Like this,
What
I
about high
mean,
school? Is it a high school sport?
I don't think it is.
Mm.
Like, and if there might be one or two schools, maybe I don't really know, but it's not one of those things where like you can just do anywhere you go, right? So you would need the younger generation and younger people with like all the social media skills and whatever it is to be like, oh, like I need to follow this or do this or whatever. But yeah, also I think like a lot of love to like pickleball players, but like they're not we are not as like cool as like Conor McGregor is. Like we're not like punching people in the face. We're not like kicking a soccer ball around. Like I don't think we're like that cool to other people that, don't watch
I think it's
pickleball.
pretty damn cool.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, to me, like I have so much respect for somebody that gets
Yeah,
in the ring regardless. You
totally.
know what I mean? Even if you're not
Yeah.
famous or rich or whatever, like
But someone's gonna come up like in the next few years
yeah.
and they're gonna like have everything it takes and they're just gonna hit the scene. They're gonna say all the right things. They're gonna know how to get the attention and then they're just gonna blow up. And it's gonna happen. It happens at every sport.
Yeah, and I would love for that to happen, right? And in tennis, you kind of have Nick Kyrgios, right? Like he's not playing as much. He got injured, but people still talk about him, and he does and say whatever he wants, and he's just very very entertaining. So I think Tyson is the closest thing to that,
Mm.
but I don't think I still think he has a filter compared to like a lot of these other people.
Mm.
Yeah.
So talk about the income. How much money can you make as a professional pickleball player?
I think that's how much money you can make. I think it's a pretty high number. I would probably say Ben, it's probably netting like 4 million a year or something like that
Damn,
after
4 million?
everything. Yeah, that would be my guess.
Damn.
After sponsorships and royalties and all that stuff, I could be way off. I could be more in my opinion. But the beautiful thing about pickleball a couple years ago was that it gave the chance to
Real quick. Sorry to cut you off. So I just Googled it, and to your point, it said the highest earning pickleball players in 2024 are Ben Johns and Anna Lee Waters, both earning well over 2.5 million. And Anna projected to surpass Ben in earnings, potentially reaching 3 million. This is in 2024.
I would say it's more.
Yeah, you would say it's
I
more.
would say it's way more.
Okay, so let's just use that number. So 3 million. Out of the 3 million, how much of that is coming from the PPA MLP contracts, and how much of that is coming from brand deals off the court?
That's a good question, right? I would say for them for Annalise specifically, I would say it's more from sponsorships off the court or whatever it is. Like she was just at the SP, so you got invited to go to the SPs.
Anna was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was there. So she's doing a lot of big things outside of pickleball, because whatever contract she probably signed, a year or two ago with the PPA or whatever it was, like I don't think she's getting paid 2 million to like play for the PPA personally. So I think even though her income is very high, I think most of it is coming from outside of pickleball.
Mm,
Yeah.
interesting. And then for someone, let's just say that's maybe ranked number 5 through 15, like what kind of income are they making, you think?
Yeah, then again, like it's very contract oriented because the pay disparity is so big. Because there's people that signed a contract 2 years ago that are still, or a year and a half ago, they're still in this contract that they're getting probably overpaid by now, or maybe even underpaid, where you have people that maybe got into the sport at the wrong time. And so they're getting paid way less, even though they're ranked a lot higher.
Because they locked in a 3-year deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
Now, if they outperform that contract, can they renegotiate an extension before that contract's up?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't
Okay,
think so.
got it. But once it's up, then you become a free agent, and if you outperform that contract, you're going to be in line for a big payday. Yeah.
Probably.
And those contracts have bonuses up front.
If you can manage to make that work, yeah, I know some people that got paid up front. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the contract public information?
No.
It's not.
Do you think they should be?
NBA is.
Yeah, I think they should be
MLB
too.
is.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that be?
Yeah. I think we all should be aware of what everyone else is making.
Yeah. Is there a players union?
No comment.
No comment. There's
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, got it. There's probably not. If what you're saying is true, it's not public information, you're not aware of it, then it's got to be no players union,
Yeah.
I would imagine. Okay, so back to the income. Like, what percentage for, like, give me an example from, we know the top players are making 3 million plus per year. But you said there's a major drop off.
Yeah.
What is that drop off as you get into, like, top 5, top 10, top 20?
Well, then again, it's very depending on the person, right? Like I know people that are in the top 60, let's say, that are making more than someone that's ranked like 15, just because of the contract itself, you know?
Damn.
Yeah, it's really weird. So what the UPA is trying to do now, it's kind of like try to go away from that and make everything prize money oriented, which kind of goes into the idea of like, hey, you're gonna get paid based on how you do, which makes a lot of sense, right? But it's tough to do when you promised all this money to all these people for 3 years. So if I'm, let's say, I'm getting paid 500,000, right, and you're asking me to not get paid that next year, it's like, why would anyone say yes to that,
Yes.
right? So it's a very difficult thing that they're trying to navigate now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then again, like it's really hard to know because somebody that signed a year 2 years ago that's super irrelevant now is still making more than somebody that's making semis and quarters, or quarters and semis, maybe finals sometimes.
But the sport's come a long way. I mean, think about, when you and I first had a conversation on this podcast a year and a half ago, and then think about 3 years ago, 5 years ago, to think the top pickleball players in the world right now are making $3 million plus per year. The sport's come a long way. And so if someone's making $500K a year, where would they typically rank, you think? On and off the court, brand deals, all that, $500K a year. Generally speaking, where are they going to expect to be ranked?
Generally speaking, I would say top 5.
Top 5, really?
Top 8.
So it's like 3 million and then it drops off to like 500K pretty quick. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Now, what about someone making 250?
I still think it could be in that top 5.
Really?
Top 8.
Damn, so
Yeah.
there's a major drop off.
There's huge drop offs.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so then people that are making, let me just say, like, people that are ranked 20 through 60, generally speaking, what do you think they're making, like 100 grand?
Yeah.
75K?
Yeah.
So these people might be working like day jobs in off season type of stuff.
It's possible, yeah, but I also think it's one of those things where you should try to maximize what you have at any given moment, right? So if you can, let's say you're getting paid 100K a year to play in the pro tour, right? You're not netting 100K because expensive. The travel is so expensive, right? And then hotel and lodging and food and all this stuff. But then if you can somehow market that you're a PPA MLP pro and you play in a team and whatever, and you can teach, let's say, lessons or do clinics, let's say a lesson like for 175 an hour, it's not super ideal, but it's pretty good money, like for the most part, right? So to me, it's one of those things where we don't know how long all of this is going to last. So why not make the most out of it while you can? Maybe you have to work a little harder for the next couple of years, but so what? Like you might set yourself up for better.
Does anyone have a high ticket mastermind community in pickleball?
No, I know somebody had supposedly made $30,000 in a month in school. SK.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it has some sort of community, but they just did
yeah.
like a one-time thing.
I think that was like their best month. So the answer, yeah,
And what is that around? What was the basis of that? Do you know?
I believe it's just like how to get better at pickleball. Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling, that's a big opportunity. No one's really done this. Because I got guys in my 7-figure creator community that have they're pro baseball players. One of them is Joe Bamil. He's in 7-figure creator community, and he was a professional pitcher for the major leagues, played for the Dodgers for a while. And anyways, him and his partner Brent, they basically teach, they help high school level, college level, and like minor leagues get to the big leagues. And there's a big demand for that product, huge demand. And so I'm just thinking, like, for people that are in high school, or they're like in their 18, 19, maybe early 20s, and they're really trying to get to the next level, to kind of have some sort of community that's virtual. Maybe you do some live events, like, maybe like once a quarter, But it's mostly community, get around like-minded individuals. I think there's a big opportunity there if no one's really tapped into it, to where maybe you'd be the first one, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure, and I'm surprised Tyson hasn't done it, honestly,
Mhm.
because he always seemed to be the first one to kinda
He
jump the
probably just
ship on
doesn't know how to do
everything.
it yet.
That's true, yeah. Maybe we have to join the, seven-figure content creator.
But no, interesting stuff, dude. So I'm curious, man. Where did pickleball originate from? Because I think a lot of people think pickleball is brand new, just came out, new sport, but it's been around since when?
I mean, I don't really know, but I wanna say it might have been, like, 1973, somewhere in
Damn.
Seattle, somewhere along those lines. Then there's a story about how it got called pickleball because they were playing this game, and apparently some dog called Pickle kept chasing the ball around in this house where, like, this pickleball court was made. So, I don't really know, to be honest with you, but I think it's been around for, like, over 50 years. And, the big boom happened during COVID because nobody could do anything, but they could set up a net in their backyard or whatever and play some pickleball. So, I wanna say that's where it was originated from, but I don't really know for sure.
Yeah, interesting. Dude, I saw these pickleball inflatables, and I always thought like literally a pickleball inflatable court on the water, that these like nice yacht charters are doing, and they're putting these pickleball courts that just literally like a water toy, basically these inflatables, and you throw it out, and you can play pickleball court or you can play pickleball literally on the water next to your boat. And I thought, man, it'd be cool to do that. And we looked them up before we started recording. $8,900, you can buy an inflatable
Not
pickleball
bad at
court.
all.
I thought that'd be pretty badass. Go out to Catalina and like literally host the tournament.
Mhm.
I think that would be super sick. But just looking at these things, have you ever heard of that before until today?
So, y in the moment, I didn't think so, but then after looking, I was like, "Yeah, I've seen this before." But I haven't seen anybody make any business out of that. I think it was just part of like, "Oh, you come on the boat, and we happen to have a pickleball court." I mean, yeah, but the hardest part of all of that would be having the boat, which you already have.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dude, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that's kind of an idea that we just kind of thought of. Obviously, every idea or business venture has an opportunity cost, right? And so it's the time, and this game's all about focusing on what you're good at, what you know. But thought, man, a really good business idea for anyone that's into pickleball, into boating, is offer 4-hour charters to go out in the water, inflate the pickleball court, and then you can run games for 4 hours, have nice catered lunch, play some games, play some pickup games, and then have like some content, some media members there, and then provide them like social media shorts and like some videos so they can post their social. There's no doubt that pickleball on the water next to a yacht wouldn't get a ton of views.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that's a pretty cool idea, and I think I would love to know what is the median household income for pickleball people that are pickleball fans around the country. I would imagine a lot higher than some of these other sports.
I would imagine so too, yeah. So a lot of these people come from golf or tennis, right, where it just kinda makes it takes more money to play than some of the other sports. So I would imagine it's, like, higher than others, for
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, anyone listening to this, if you have a boat, or maybe you go buy a boat, and you're into pickleball, go get an inflatable pickleball court. Maybe you get two, put one on either side of the boat.
Could do 4.
You could start a
Do it in
yacht
the
charter.
back.
Yeah, maybe you could do 4. Yeah. Start a private yacht charter that's tailored to pickleball, or maybe it's just an add-on. And then you literally do 4-hour charters where people can go in and rent the yacht and run pickleball on the water, provide the content, the media, and all that. I think you could charge pretty high ticket for something like that. I think you could probably charge $20K to go out for 4 hours if you have especially during the summertime,
Yeah.
if you're in a good area.
No, 100%.
We did a pickleball. I've done a pickleball court twice now
Mhm.
on my real estate projects. So the first one I did was with a luxury Airbnb I have in Scottsdale. That has a pickleball court. Just putting pickleball court in the listing title, like on Airbnb, it like increased the revenue about 30%. Literally just increased it overnight by 30%, just having pickleball court on the listing title. By the way, if you guys ever go to Scottsdale for a tournament, I'd love to, house you guys and any of your team members up at this property. It's sick. 8-bedroom, 8-bath. It's got pickleball court, speakeasy, volleyball court, beach volleyball. It's got a full court basketball,
Oh,
literally
sick.
fitness gym.
Wow.
Huge. And it's got a huge guest house.
Yeah, thank you.
It's got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath guest house. So if you guys ever go out for a tournament, let me know, and we'd love to host you guys. And then one of our hotels, the Lodge in Lake Chelan, 40-room boutique hotel up in Lake Chelan, Washington, we acquired that as a 2021 build. relatively new construction. We got a really good deal on it. It was the developer was foreclosed on, and we got in at a massive discount. And it didn't need much renovation, but we rebranded it, enhanced a few things. But one of the things we did was we put in a pickleball court, just because we know it's such a trendy thing, and especially up in that area. I think it was more that demographic that plays pickleball, and so far it's been a hit. So
Yeah. You got to do more often, more pickleball
yeah.
courts.
More pickleball courts. And I think if you're listening to this and you have an Airbnb or you have a boutique hotel and you're like, you got a little extra space for an amenity, I think pickleball court is one of those amenities that you should look after because the ROI on it is pretty significant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30% is
Yeah,
big.
absolutely. Any thoughts on like where this sport's going to navigate over the next like 5 years or so with technology and obviously people getting better, the athletes getting better, the training getting better? Where do you kind of see pickleball in 5 years from now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, the thing with pickleball is that like 5 years, like 3 months in pickleball is already like 2 years of real life. Like
Mm.
it just happens so
Why do you
fast,
say
so
that?
quick. Because we're only like a day away from like, a paddle getting hotter or a ball getting faster or a contract or a deal away from like, somebody else making a core that's bounces fast. You know what I mean? Like there's always all these and tangible things. But I don't know, like in 5 years, I would imagine it's even faster than now. It's grown a lot more. There's more pickleball courts everywhere, right? Included like Airbnbs and hotels and things like that. I would imagine a lot of the athletes are also a lot better, are a lot more athletic. And yeah, I think the sky's the limit for pickleball because anybody can play. The level for entry is, is cheap, right? Like you can buy a paddle for like $50 or less, right? If you really want to. Uh, balls are made out of plastic, so it's not like you're looking at like any expensive stuff there either. So yeah, I mean, it could just go anywhere really, but I think it could also sink like anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You started your own pickleball racket
Hmm.
company. Talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I've always got paddle sponsors throughout my whole pickleball career, and I never really, I think I was so young that I never had the idea of like, oh, I can do my own thing, right? So then I got injured last year, and I was just kind of sitting there at home with Courtney and whatever, and I was like, like you don't know how long the money is gonna be there for, but if you start your own thing, then maybe, something, you have a higher threshold of something, right? So then an opportunity came around where, I was offered equity in a company and I could kind of like overlook all the professional paddle stuff and all the factory stuff, and it was either that or sign another 1-year contract with some other random paddle company that was only going to pay me a certain amount for that year, but then they could use, my image for however long they wanted, right? So I was like, okay, maybe you do take that risk, right? Maybe you don't get paid in the beginning, but maybe in a couple of years from now it's bigger. And kind of like what I was telling you earlier, we had $100,000 a month, which was, really big
Huge.
for us for a startup,
Yeah.
especially. And then again, we've done
100 grand in 1 month, man.
yeah.
Selling literally paddles.
Paddles, yeah,
Huge. Yeah.
yeah, and so it was huge, and we sold paddles to Fox News, we sold paddles to United Healthcare, a company called Datafy, right? Like all these other companies, and so it's also really fun to not be just on the playing aspect, but also the business aspect of the business, and so far it has paid off for sure. And so if you ever need a paddle, aplpros.com.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say the landing page one more time.
APL aplpros.com. Yeah, American
APLpros.com.
Pickleball
I'm
League.
gonna have to get a couple paddles for my girlfriend Presley and I. There's a couple courts down here at the waterfront park in Little Italy that went in, and you can literally play pickleball on the water. It's walking distance from our place. I just haven't gone out yet. I don't even have a paddle. So
You
would
you
love to
will
get a
soon.
couple. Yeah,
You will
would love to
soon.
get a couple
Yeah.
paddles and try them out and go out there. But dude, you got me thinking about the pickleball thing on the water. I mean, get a couple of those inflatable courts, one on either side of the boat. Maybe we can, maybe you and I can collab on
Yeah,
something like that,
that'd be sick.
and think about even Catalina pickleball on the water in Catalina, just like the freaking like shot. Like if you had social media and all that would be freaking epic. And the memories that you would create for anyone that's into pickleball. But I think that's a unique business model that I don't know if anyone's really thought of.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing that kind of comes to mind, right? Like you have the bow, you have the courts. So then all you need to do is call up with somebody that knows pickleball, right? And then if you can find, basically some business that wants to rent out a boat and play pickleball, and then you can kind of provide paddles, all the equipment, which I have, right? Then you provide all the knowledge, which I have. And then you kind of run, like maybe a small clinic, maybe, something like that for people. And then you kind of let them play and give out tips and just random thoughts.
And literally just have it catered. You can have nice private chef on the boat. You can have a couple add-ons, a couple sushi chefs, which is typical to go out in the water, saxophone player.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do small groups, you could do a little bit bigger groups. But I would probably imagine that the primarily like it would be like families
Mm-hmm.
that want to go out, or a couple family friends that want to go out and go out, play a little bit of pickleball, enjoy the boat, enjoy the water and some sunshine. And if you have good marketing, good social media presence, I think that this could be a pretty big thing, and kind of like a part-time kind of side hustle. Hire a captain, a good stew to run the whole operation. And it could be pretty hands-off. And obviously, it probably is something that maybe even in the wintertime. San Diego, the weather's great.
Yeah.
So maybe even on Saturday, Sunday in the wintertime, you could probably still do some charters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll have to talk about this,
Yeah, we will.
this off air. But anyhow, my man, I appreciate you coming on the show, dude. Always dropping game, always dropping value. And dude, I'm always rooting for you with the pickleball stuff, and very, very stoked on the new venture with the paddle company and everything that you're doing. Leighton, shout out to my niece, Courtney. Where can the folks get in touch with you if they want to learn more about everything you're doing, your paddles, and follow you in your journey?
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks. First and foremost, thank you for having me for the second time here. Super happy to be here, and glad your family, obviously, and congratulations on the boat. Yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, you can go to DJ Young PB on Instagram. I have my own website, djyoung.com. You can reach out to me there. And then as far as my paddle goes, it's aplpros.com. And yeah, feel free to reach out to me anytime. Thank you, brother.
There it is. He's DJ Young. I'm Rich Summers. Listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.